Tim, what is personal insolvency? What does that actually mean?
Personal insolvency is where an individual, as opposed to a company, can't pay his debts as they fall due. And that can arise for a lot of reasons, such as illness or redundancy or marital problems and so on, all sorts of issues. So when this happens and a person has assets, ultimately his creditors could force a realisation of those assets. So in the situation where a person has a house and there's some equity in it, then his creditors could ultimately force a sale of that property. So it's very important that as soon as a person realises he has difficulties, he comes to talk to us and takes advice. Usually creditors are very sympathetic so long as they're approached as early as possible.
Tim, there are lots of people on the internet providing insolvency solutions, but they're not actually insolvency practitioners. So what's the advantage of coming to a real insolvency practitioner like Griffin King?
Yes, Dave, it's often difficult to actually tell whether somebody advertising is actually a regulated insolvency practitioner. There's a lot of people advertising on the internet and it's a bit hit and miss as to exactly what qualification they have, whether they're regulated or not. Unregulated firms can't provide an IVA solution, and for that reason the advice that they give is unlikely to be entirely balanced. The good thing about an insolvency practitioner is that they can provide all of the options available and they're obliged to provide objective, good advice to the client.
Do you have face-to-face meetings with your clients?
We'd certainly always recommend that. We feel it's best for the clients to fully understand the situation and indeed ourselves to fully understand what the problems are. If it's not possible for somebody to come into our office, we'd be pleased to go and see them at their home or their office.
Do you deal with business debt at Griffin King?
Oh yes, we do. And surprisingly, not all personal debt advisors do actually deal with business debt. At Griffin King, we're very experienced at dealing with problems that only arise in a business situation.